Howdy! Welcome to Rhinestone Roper Ranch. Today we're going to be talking about the lift-on. Now the lift-on is a fun loop. It's a character. It likes to catch on everything. It catches on your arm, it catches on your nose, knocks your hat off. So it's a good idea to wear a hat when you're practicing this trick, not your best hat. Before we get started, go ahead and press subscribe and ring that bell. I'd appreciate it. You want your Honda in just the right spot to initiate your lift-on. But with the lift-on, you have at least 3 different places, 3 different choices of where to start it. We're looking at the position of your Honda. The key is the Honda and the spoke have to be to the outside of the loop as you start your lift. The reason for that is you can't lift this loop just any old place, because it comes up, the inside of the loop is going to hit your arm or it's going to tag up on the spoke. If you initiate your lift when the Honda and your spoke is on the outside of the circle, as it comes up, it's going to come around and the loop will clear both your arm and the spoke. It comes around and you can go up on the inside. If we think about the merry-go-round occurs with 3 revolutions of the rope. If you count the times when the spoke is next to your leg, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you can initiate your lift on when in number 3 out here, when it's in front of you and the spoke is to the outside. You can initiate it here. You can initiate it here when it's behind your back and throw it in the air. Or you can initiate it as it's coming around your back, goes underneath that elbow, and then reach out for it. You can initiate it right here. Two things you're going to notice about this. The rope catches on everything. It'll catch on everything on the way down, and as it bounces, it'll catch on everything again on the way up. It just catches on everything. The second thing you'll notice is you got a severe Honda slippage problem. When we're spinning a flat loop, you know, we got 3 different kinds of forces. The gravity is one, centrifugal force on the loop, centrifugal force on the Honda is the third. When you throw this loop in the air so you can get underneath it, the rope goes weightless. So you're taking gravity out of the exchange. Gravity is pulling that Honda down, helping control the size of the loop. You take gravity out, it wants to slip. Your loop wants to get bigger. One way of changing that is to initiate your throw, lifting it up in the air. Initiate that with a little smaller loop than what you want, knowing that when it goes weightless, it's going to expand. And you take that into consideration. When it comes down around you, the loop will be a little bit bigger, so give it a little bit of spoke. Either give it more spoke, or you might make a little bigger circle in your wedding ring motion to make up for your short spoke. Actually, this loop goes weightless twice. Once when you throw it in the air to get underneath it, it goes weightless there. Then it comes down around you, goes down lower than it needs to, and it bounces back up. When it bounces back up and levels out here, it goes weightless right there. Now, if you're bringing it down and then you're going to take it straight back off, you don't have to worry so much about that. But if you're going to throw it up, get underneath it, it comes down here, you're going to catch it right here and do a wedding ring, and it goes weightless right there. Right there. Right there, it went weightless. I'm going to start with what I think is the easiest way to begin practicing your lift-on. This is most easily done with a 15-foot rope. That way you don't have all these coils in your hand, because this loop will catch on these coils too. In fact, you'll see once I get this loop up in the air I'm going to bring these coils close to my body so they don't get hung up. So what we need to do is get our flat loop started. Get about the size I think I want. That's it right there about. What I did there is I'm bringing my Honda around. As the Honda gets right out here, I'm going to let this rope lower itself almost to the ground, and as it's going down, right here I'm going to lift it. I'm going to lift it. I'm going to continue the circle, which means I'm going to bring my hand back, get my arm and the spoke out of the way of the loop, toss it right up here so I can look into it, and stick my arm up in the center and keep spinning it. This is like almost every other trick, and that is you got to keep turning that loop. Turning it here, lift it up, turn it here, stick my hand up. The size of the loop with this trick makes a difference. With a small loop, it's easier to get the spoke in your arm out of the way as it's going up. The Honda will slip less towards you with a small loop than with the big. You got the big one going, a lot of centrifugal force expands when there's no gravity, and your Honda slides quite a ways. On the other hand, with a small loop, it comes down around you, it's a small loop. There's not much room for error. So, you throw this thing out, get your arm out of the way, get up in the center of it. When it's in the air, you look up into it, get your arm in the center. And then whether you're gonna do a wedding ring or another yo-yo or a pop-off, you keep your arm, your hand right above your head here. If you're gonna pop this loop off, you wait till it's up here before you direct it off to the side. If you direct it off to the side too quick, like the loop is on its way up, you push it over here, it's going to snag your hat and tear it off. You kind of have to decide what you're going to do with it once you get it around you. Either you bring it down and catch it right here, get your hand right above your head and do a wedding ring, or you're going to let it come down and pop it back off. You got to think of this rope kind of as a spring. If you toss it in the air, you bring it down around yourself, it's not going to stop right here. If you toss it way up there to get underneath it, it's going to go down here. And if it goes down here, it's going to want to pop back up. Anytime it goes weightless, you got trouble. It could expand, who knows what it's going to do. It could expand, the Honda will slide up here and the loop will catch you in the shoulder or in the back or knock your hat off. The easiest thing to do with the lift on is to toss it in the air, bring it up, let it come down and pop it right back off. That's the most reliable thing you can do with your lift on, is pop it off and get rid of it. But if your loop is a little bit larger, then you toss it up here, come down in the center, and then realize it's here. It wants to spring back up. You just make sure you keep making your circle. Stay in the center of that circle. Keep that hand over your head. Make it a little bigger this time. Now you saw I brought those coils right close to my body so they didn't catch, but I dropped those coils immediately, because if I got a long rope, those kinks have to go someplace. Those twists have to go someplace before they turn into a kink. So immediately I dropped those coils, got control of this thing, and I let I'm letting it take its twist out the end of it. As I said, with the lift on, I like that rope to sag a little bit, and then I'm going to spring it up, get underneath it. For the pop-off, I do the same thing. As the Honda comes around my back, I'm going to lower my elbow a little bit. That will get the rope moving down. As the Honda comes around my shoulder here, my peripheral vision, I push back up against it, and that springing action will launch that thing way up. If I lift my hand almost as far as it'll go, I can look up into that loop, and cast that Honda out that direction. As the loop is passing my arm, the Honda will come around this side of the loop. I get my hand out of the way, come back over the top of it. Well, that's a lift on with some pop-off stuff. Enjoy your ropes. I appreciate you being here. Might take a look at these other videos coming up. We'll see you next time.